Welcome to Wilde About Sappho, a pride reading of local queer writers, the City of Victoria's literary showcase to celebrate Victoria Pride 2021. My name is John Barton, the City of Victoria Poet Laureate. June is Pride Month in Canada, and this is the second year that Wilde About Sappho is an online presentation marking the achievements of the local 2S LGBTQIA+ writing community. In 2019, the first year of my 4-year term as Poet Laureate, local queer writers celebrated Pride by reading their work in the council chambers at Victoria City Hall, the first time such a reading had been held on city premises. I very much hope we shall be able to celebrate Pride and Wilde About Sappho at City Hall in person in June 2022. This year, Wilde About Sappho focuses wholly on the work of poets, Judith Castle, Sophie Crocker, Miles Lowry, and City of Victoria Youth Poet Laureate James Summer. Their writing approaches, themes, and concerns are representative of the diversity that the local 2S LGBTQIA+ writing community embraces. When she has an off moment, Mary-Lisa Helps also writes poetry. She joins Judith, Sophie, Miles, and James by reading a poem of her own. Wilde About Sappho, a pride reading of local queer writers, celebrates Pride during the pandemic, and I have taken great pleasure in extending invitations to local LGBTQ writers so they may read to you in late June over the internet. Please invite your friends and family everywhere to listen in order that the excellence of this year's readers may be appreciated by as many poetry lovers as possible. Now please welcome Lisa Helps, James Summer, Miles Lowry, Sophie Crocker, and Judith Castle, and happy Pride.
Hi, I'm Mary-Lisa Helps, and I'm going to read a poem that I wrote in honor of a working group that I helped to convene during the pandemic. And this poem is called Community Wellness Alliance Decampment Working Group. It's that feeling, warm sun on bare legs, back against driftwood rough, breathing. That feeling as she chops lettuce familiar, garden fresh in the kitchen, and I, laptop open on Friday evening, editing frantically and with love, a federal funding application due at midnight for the Aboriginal Coalition to End Homelessness. Working together, a small group with laptops open at kitchen tables across the country, so the Indigenous street community is held, can heal. Dual model of care, cultural supportive housing. Ottawa will learn to speak a new language. Feeling, through struggle, through pandemic, through cracks in the system leaving hundreds in tents, through stigma and racism and 215 children's bodies, national consciousness unraveling. Feeling, held in connection, weaved stronger in Microsoft Teams 2D with only eyes to connect, and a resolute refusal to look anywhere but forward. Feel, wind in hair, sun on face, and that grace of knowing as whole. Thank you.
No, he doesn't look a thing like Jesus, but I fall into him as if I trust he won't trip me. I'm tripping over the tongues of my own shoes. I don't know how to put them back, but he always seems to have a band-aid on hand. When our bus clasps together, it's because I'm demanding my devotion to bust open. I know I'm too grabby or too clingy, but when there's someone, anyone, who doesn't mind it, what more can I do? I know my mom minded it. She still minds it. I stand on diving boards waiting for her to cheer. I stand on stages, Act 2, Scene 1, where is she? I walk off stage and here he is, ready with open palms. And no, he doesn't look a thing like Jesus, but he might as well be God. When I was little, my mom read me the Bible every night. She told me when I was dead, I'd be held by God, and ever since then, I've waited and waited and waited for either me to die or for me to be as loved as God was supposed to love me. When I turned 14, I stopped waiting because she started to tell me that God didn't want me anymore. No one wants someone who's changed as much as I have. That's why it surprised me when he cradled me under the covers. No, he's not God, but I think I might have gone lifeless in his arms. He's been told these arms are snakes. He's been told that I'm the fruit and I was never meant to be his lover. Poison, forbidden fruit. Why does he care? Why does he watch over me? Why would he take the time out of his life offering to teach me to ride a bike this summer because my mom pushed me down a hill and call it a day? I've seen people offer him alcohol and he's turned it down every time. Not one drop touches him, but on the other hand, I felt my hands shake looking out the window of my car, wondering if we were going to make it home. Because my mom wouldn't just call a cab. Just call a cab, I said. Put the bottle down and call a cab, I said. And as the bottle smashes on the ground, water turns to wine. I hate to hear her whine, never putting my problems first, second, third, or even last. He made me an entire ark to bring me out of the flood. Now I'm 16. And I've stopped praying to the God up above because I think I've met another on earth. And so I wait with him until I become abandoned again.
In the garden, aged as we feel this morning, we drop our shoes on the porch and step upon wet garden grass. The grand hydrangea you planted blooms purple, giant fist flowers, pink, blue, and look at this wood sorrel hiding by the shed wall. Rain-lit homage to Whitman's garden, body, green electric. Remember how we sang in desert country? My hands raining on your skin, sun downpour at noon, golden barrel cactus garden and foxtail agave, sun singing off key, or a rain song, you lending me all these years, your rain wet ear, your sun soaked love.
Rock. Not long ago, when I was a boy, I held a conversation with a rock. A few smiles and gestures of pity were worn by passers-by, hearing my voice in a kind of soliloquy. Friends and neighbors jumped at the chance to call me queer. Me in my felt hat and embroidered clothes. But I was speaking from my heart to a diminutive boulder, small enough to hold in my hand, round and bumpy as a frog. No one else, it seems, could hear the stone, with its slight whistle as it spoke, almost lisping. Other children approached me nervously, as if I was holding a bomb. But the tick, tick, tick they were hearing was only my heart in a fist.
This is Self-Portrait in Gemini, which was originally published in the Fiddlehead. The right side of my face is the changeling side. Make my skull a peach pit. Make my cheek the wild thing gorging on it, getting fat, till I can recognize neither pit nor thing. What graces my mother, I disgrace. I wax into who I am best, with salt on my face, body folded in a fast food parking lot. Show me a false positive and I'll read the future in my own ovaries. Or show me a photo so I know that exactly in the instant of photography, someone touched me, someone else loved me. My angle of incidence creates a pool of oil on the tarmac, aka my own eyes, aka refraction. In 8 months it will be summer. In 3 hours it will be evening. This afternoon, I am not the version of myself that fights a seagull for a French fry. My flesh does not reflect sunlight. Thirst skins me from the inside. I cannot complete my gut. Winter chipmunks store chestnuts in my pussy. Animals make etc. Reproductive systems give me trypophobia. Holes devour holes. If I had extra organs, I wouldn't share them. My mother said pregnancy feels like a surfeit of caviar. She gave birth only so I would stop kicking. My abdomen was made for spawn, wasn't it? And eggs. How do eggs stay calm under the hull of the chicken? How to crack, not to shatter. What a horrible elliptical body. History condenses in my funny bone. What I ruin for an ancestor of mine who had my nose, no plague, 9 fingers.
My first kiss was like swimming in a kiddie pool. We pretended that it was the ocean, an overused metaphor, body temperature scorching. It felt like swimming in a kiddie pool. I pretended that the water hadn't already been peed in, skin soaking up a kiss that had been released into another's mouth, but in the end, who am I to judge? Kiss me. Tell me I'm a good kisser. First kiss, I'm already a natural. First tongue, so that's what it's like. First awkward pause. Now this is a movie. First love. Is that what I call you? You see, the sea sits in my eyes. I'm a free-spirited, goldfish-loving, ugly clothes-wearing lover. With me, I swear your fingers won't wrinkle, your legs won't tire, your feet will be able to touch the bottom. With me, it's always summer. Bummer you have to go, but drain the pool before you leave. God, drain the liquid from my system, get the chlorine out of my eyes. A chemical love doesn't exist. Or maybe the deep end was just never meant for me, this synchronized swimming, sinking the way you used to be my friend, now no longer my holy water. Now we're meeting after school, drool running down my face, baby, I might just have to swim wearing water rings, like spring so goddamn hot, but there wasn't a second kiss. Miss the first one like I miss unclogged ears. I need to dive into whatever you're willing to give me, although I need to tell you I'm not ready for the high jump. Pumping heart, please don't take that as an invitation to leave. My first kiss was like swimming in a kiddie pool. Bugs begin to crawl their way in, try to escape, fail, and die. Justify not cleaning out the pool, glorify filth. But what makes me different from a mosquito? I'm small, I'm frustrating, and I'm always so worried you don't want me here. In order to kill aquatic pests, you must take away their food supply. Imply that I am unwanted. Forgotten lips that lasted you a few seconds, for me months. Poison in my system, wings wrecked, water up my nose, eyes stung, and still lean again for a second kiss.
Sky over Vic West for Carmel. This blue heron day, wind, silent, first light crows singing matins in the ministry of sky. I abandon my dream's dark tale, remembering the morning you came to me, bearing raspberries in a white bowl.
She walks through walls, the ghost of Anna McCarrig. She walks through walls, really she does, places her head upon your chest, listening for a heartbeat. And then you awaken with a start, blood in your ears, making them sting. A little breathless, you fall back into the white pillows, colored in sleeplessness and shades of Anna McCarrig. She walks right through the wall, up the little flight of stairs to Lady Guthrie's room, noting the bric-a-brac and half-empty bottles and leftovers. Spread across the bed in handwritten pages, a manuscript for a play, laced with intricate scribbles and changes of heart. The lady departs, and no one is there to notice. The rain pounding, stone pathways to dust, flowers pinned to the ground. A coughing attack, a lady's laugh, disturbing the sleepers who thought they'd turned off that light, dozing as they reread their own novels and poems, adrift in a creaking lull, thrust into the familiar abyss that says, I am still brave. Others just holding themselves, caressing injuries of worry and hope, alone in bed with the dead.
This poem is called How Lame to Be a Person. How lame to be a person and refuse to lullaby alone and lose teeth because you grew and what, now you don't need teeth? And call it hopscotch, although it's only hopping, and wonder where lava goes when it dies, and fear the sky, and half understand how magnets work, and make a mistake, and put a band-aid on the infected wound, and unused clocks in wait of holiday, and forge new families every summer, and believe in the ancients of all bonfires, and send your opposable thumbs to war, and make the same mistake again, and have sex but cry during and almost die in a dozen little idiocies, and leave every room you've ever entered, and feel worse after orgasm, and spend 4 years with the girl from French class who will, on a normal April night, split a joint saying, I don't need you anymore, and eat pie with whipped cream when whipped cream from the can tastes better, and tell your God unrepeatable secrets, and pretend she was more than a girl, and cubicle past 3 p.m., and go skinny dipping like you're fishing for happiness, and pretend she was just a girl you knew one time, and forget the wrench you went to Home Depot to buy on the counter at Home Depot, and not know what else to kiss but people, and see her face through the striking of matches, and bury the friend who thought being a person was too lame to do any longer, and sleep for half of 2 weeks in baby position, and coin dignity from vending machines, and let palmists condemn you in stranger dialect, and construct your pantheons from pareidolia, and speak no possible synonym for loss, and realize innocence was a gutter in Spain, and realize realizing was only, and begrudge TV static for being as starlight as you, and jealous blue flame for its safe, sweet, wasteless combustion, and know you didn't live until you had your own myth for the discovery of fire.
A blue heron sky, a kiss like swimming in a kiddie pool, a rock with the heartbeat of a bomb, and innocence as a gutter in Spain. Thank you, Judith Castle, Sophie Crocker, Miles Lowry, James Summer, and Mayor Lisa Helps for marking Victoria Pride 2021 with me. And thank you everyone for taking time out of your day to watch, listen, and appreciate the work of these very fine poets. To learn more about their writing, please look up the Wilde About Sappho page on the City of Victoria website, where you'll find biographical thumbnails about each reader, plus the texts of the poems they have just read to you, should you decide to rewatch this video presentation and wish to read along. Thanks is also due to my City of Victoria colleagues in Engagement and the Arts, Culture and Events Department for their assistance in the production of Wilde About Sappho, a Pride reading of local queer writers. In the 6th century, before the Common Era, Sappho said, "May I write words more naked than flesh, stronger than bone, more resilient than sinew, more sensitive than nerve." In the late 19th century, Oscar Wilde said, "I can resist everything except temptation." Today, in the 21st century, may you find the work of 2S LGBTQIA+ writers to be more sensitive than nerve and entirely irresistible.